One car on this list just shattered every speed record you thought was possible, packing over 1,000 horsepower for less than most luxury sedans cost. But here's the twist. Half these machines are about to disappear forever, turning today's supercars into tomorrow's million-dollar unicorns. The automotive world is witnessing the final gasp of an era, and these 10 coupes represent the absolute peak of what's possible before everything changes. Number 10, 2025 BMW M2 CS, 188 miles per hour. BMW just proved that size means absolutely nothing when you're engineering pure violence. The M2 CS might look like a compact coupe, but lurking under that carbon fiber hood is an S58 straight six that screams to 7,200 RPM while unleashing 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of rage. This isn't just fast, it's savagely fast, ripping from 0 to 60 in just 3.7 seconds before charging toward its 188 miles per hour maximum. What makes this machine truly special isn't just the power. BMW went on a weight-cutting rampage, carving nearly 100 pounds from the curb weight using carbon fiber everything. Roof, hood, trunk, mirrors, even the seats are carved from carbon. At 3,770 pounds, this coupe punches way above its weight class. The adaptive suspension keeps it glued to the asphalt, while 6-piston brakes provide stopping power that'll snap your neck. Built in BMW's Mexico facility starting this August, production will be strictly limited. Each dashboard carries a numbered plaque, making every single unit a potential future collectible. The $99,775 starting price might seem steep, but this is entry-level supercar performance wrapped in a deceptively small package. But this BMW isn't even the fastest from Munich this year. Number 9, 2025 BMW M4 CS, 188 miles per hour. The M4 CS occupies that sweet spot between the everyday competition model and the legendary CSL unicorn. BMW cranked up the boost pressure on that same S58 twin-turbo 6, now producing 543 horsepower and 479 pound-feet. Launch control helps it explode to 60 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds. But the real story is what happens at Germany's most famous track. Around the Nurburgring, this machine clocked in at 721.9, putting it within striking distance of the rear-wheel drive CSL's time. That's controversial territory. Some purists argue the all-wheel drive system gives it an unfair advantage, while others say it proves BMW's engineering prowess. Either way, the numbers don't lie. The weight-saving program here is equally aggressive. Carbon fiber roof, hood, trunk, drive shaft, and even a titanium exhaust system slice roughly 80 pounds from the competition's mass. Adaptive dampers read the road every 10 milliseconds, while dedicated brake cooling ducts keep those 6-piston calipers operating at peak performance session after session. Only 1,700 units worldwide will wear the CS badge, each finished in that exclusive frozen isle of man green paint. At $124,675 before options, it's not cheap, but it represents BMW's current engineering peak. BMW's fastest isn't even close to their flagship performance machine. Number 8, 2025 BMW M8 Competition, 190 miles per hour. BMW's flagship coupe is essentially a velvet-lined cruise missile designed to obliterate both luxury expectations and speed limits. The 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 inhales through dual-scroll turbos to unleash 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Independent testing reveals this heavyweight launches from standstill to 60 amp in a jaw-flexing 2.5 seconds, completing the quarter mile in 10.7 seconds at 130 amp. Tick the M-Drivers package option and the electronic limiter releases at 190 miles per hour, allowing this 4,300-pound coupe to trade punches with mid-engine exotics on the Autobahn. The chassis wizardry keeping this beast composed is genuinely impressive. Adaptive dampers sample road conditions every 10 milliseconds, while the active differential shuffles torque rearward for controlled chaos or iron-fisted traction. Optional carbon ceramic brakes trim 42 pounds of unsprung mass and can scrub off 124 miles per hour in just 330 feet. Testing shows zero brake fade after 9 consecutive hot laps of the Nurburgring GP circuit. The carbon fiber roof lowers the center of gravity, while a titanium exhaust lets the V8 snarl in Sport Plus mode, yet whisper during highway cruising. Here's the kicker. Rumors suggest 2025 might be the M8 Coupe's final model year, potentially adding future collectible status to every order sheet. At $140,975, it's expensive, but discontinuation rumors are already driving demand through the roof. American muscle is about to crash this German engineering party. Number 7. 2025 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, 200 miles per hour. The Camaro ZL1 doesn't tiptoe toward retirement. It leaves smoking tire marks as its farewell signature. Under that aggressive hood lies a 6.2-liter supercharged LT 4V8 cranking out 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of tire-shredding torque. The high-revving Eaton blower whines like an angry banshee, while launch control catapults this monster from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. But the real headline is that verified 200 miles per hour top speed, making this the fastest factory Camaro ever constructed and arguably the loudest way to bid farewell to an automotive icon. Magnetic ride control smooths broken pavement yet stiffens instantly for track duty, while performance traction management offers 5 distinct grip modes for different driving scenarios. Add the 1LE Extreme Track package and things get serious. Dive planes, carbon fiber wing, multi-matic spool valve dampers transformed the ZL1 into a Nurburgring weapon that lapped the famous circuit in 7:16.4, brushing legitimate 911 GT3 territory. 6-piston Brembo brake squeeze 15.35-inch rotors cooled by aerodynamic curtains for fade-proof performance. The controversy surrounding this car is its limited production finale. 2024 marks the final model year, capped by a ZL1 Collector's Edition finished in Panther Black Matte with retro badging. Only 350 units exist, and collectors are already fighting over allocation. Starting at $75,395, it represents the last of its breed. British elegance is about to slice through this American chaos. Number 6. 2025 Aston Martin Vantage, 202 miles per hour. Aston Martin describes the new Vantage as a knockout punch delivered in a Savile Row suit, and those numbers absolutely support that claim. The hand-built AMG-sourced 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 now breathes through larger turbos and a freer-flowing exhaust, unleashing 656 horsepower and 590 pound-feet. That's 153 more horses than the previous generation. Launch control allows the ZF 8-speed transmission to snap into second gear as 60 miles per hour arrives in 3.4 seconds. Stay committed and the bonded aluminum coupe surges toward a wind tunnel verified 202 miles per hour maximum, aided by a flat underbody and active rear wing that generates 165 pounds of downforce at peak velocity. The chassis receives a 25% stiffness increase thanks to additional structural bracing, while adaptive dampers sample road conditions every 5 milliseconds. An electronically controlled limited slip differential can route 100% of available torque to either rear wheel, transforming tight hairpins into point-and-shoot exit opportunities. Optional carbon ceramic brakes reduce unsprung mass by 50% while erasing 124 miles per hour in just 330 feet without any fade. Inside, bridge of weir leather wraps every surface your fingers might touch, stitched in contrasting patterns that scream handcrafted luxury. The controversy here is the AMG partnership. Purists argue Aston Martin should develop their own engines, while realists acknowledge this collaboration produces genuinely world-class results. At $192,586, it's steep money. But every throttle application feels like a private jet takeoff sequence. Ford just engineered a Mustang that genuinely believes it's a GT3 race car. Number 5. 2025 Ford Mustang GTD, 202 miles per hour. The GTD represents the first Mustang in history designed with genuine GT3 racing DNA flowing through its mechanical veins. A supercharged 5.2-liter Predator V8 inhales through enlarged intercoolers and a straight-shot intake. Now SAE certified at 815 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque. Launch control engagement reveals the rear-mounted 8-speed dual-clutch transmission hooking up as 60 miles per hour blurs past in the mid-threes before charging toward a wind-tunnel verified 202 miles per hour maximum. What separates this machine from every other muscle coupe is its fundamental layout philosophy. The transaxle and differential site at the rear axle, connected by a carbon fiber drive shaft, delivering near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Pushrod rear suspension and short long arm front geometry ride on semi-active spool valve dampers that drop 1.6 inches in track mode. Ford's engineering target was audacious, a sub-7-minute Nurburgring lap time. Every exterior panel uses carbon fiber construction, while the Mustang's first dry sump oil system keeps the V8 properly fed during sustained 2G cornering loads. Wheel arch vents bleed pressure to cool the brakes while reducing aerodynamic lift. The controversy surrounding this car is its $300,000 approximate price tag. Critics argue that no Ford should cost supercar money, while supporters point to the engineering complexity and limited production numbers. Bragging rights definitely come with ownership. Dodge's final stand is about to get seriously ugly. Number 4. 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye, 203 miles per hour. Dodge's last V8 Challenger absolutely refuses to go quietly into automotive history. This machine represents an 807 horsepower tire-smoking American sendoff that makes no apologies for its prehistoric approach to speed generation. At its mechanical heart sits a 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi producing 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of asphalt-ripping torque. This is raw, unfiltered muscle car power that you can physically feel deep in your chest cavity. Hammer the throttle and the Redeye claws from standstill to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds, running out of steam only at a wind-tested 203 miles per hour maximum velocity. What distinguishes the Redeye from other performance coupes is its completely unashamed aggression. The wide-body flares aren't just for show. They accommodate massive 305mm Pirelli tires that fight and sometimes fail to tame the Hemi's mechanical rage. An integrated cold air scoop hidden inside the headlight assembly cools the enormous 2.7-liter supercharger, while adaptive suspension keeps this heavyweight composed on twisty roads. Brembo brakes featuring massive 15.75-inch rotors provide decisive stopping power lap after punishing lap. Inside, old-school muscle aesthetics meet modern technology. Genuine aluminum trim, Laguna leather sport seats embossed with Hellcat insignias, and a user-friendly 8.4-inch infotainment system balance comfort with pure aggression. The Redeye proudly remains analog in a digital world. Its roaring engine soundtrack means serious business, not luxury comfort. Starting at $83,145, this represents Dodge's final gasoline-fueled chapter. A collectible muscle icon engineered to be remembered long after the last one rolls off the production line. Japanese precision is about to teach everyone a masterclass in engineering obsession. Number 3. 2024 Nissan GT-R Nismo, 205 miles per hour. The GT-R Nismo represents Nissan's ultimate track-focused weapon, refined through genuinely obsessive engineering practices. At its mechanical core sits a hand-built 3.8-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine, meticulously assembled by a single master technician whose name appears proudly on the engine identification plaque, producing 600 horsepower and 481 pound-feet of torque. Activate launch control and Nissan's ATTESA all-wheel drive system rockets the GT-R from standstill to 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds, charging relentlessly toward an aerodynamically tested 205 miles per hour top speed. The real distinction lies in surgical precision rather than brute force. Nismo-tuned Bilstein Damptronic shock absorbers scan road conditions hundreds of times per second, keeping the GT-R pinned absolutely flat through corner combinations. Carbon fiber construction adorns the roof, hood, trunk lid, and aggressive rear wing, generating significant downforce at high speeds without sacrificing straight-line stability. Ultra-lightweight rays, forged wheels wrapped in bespoke Dunlop Sport Max tires reduce unsprung weight dramatically, improving steering response and overall handling sharpness. Massive Brembo carbon ceramic rotors ensure fade-free braking performance even after repeated hard track sessions. Inside, supportive carbon fiber-backed Recaro seats, Alcantara accent materials, and crystal-clear digital gauges emphasize track readiness without sacrificing premium comfort levels. At a starting MSRP of $222,885, the 2024 GTR Nismo represents Nissan's sharpest, most precise iteration yet. The controversy here is the hand-built engine philosophy versus mass production efficiency. Critics argue it's outdated, while enthusiasts celebrate the craftsmanship. Either way, each engine is a signed masterpiece. German engineering is about to drop the ultimate performance hammer. Number 2, 2025 Porsche 911 Turbo S, 205 miles per hour. The 2025 Porsche 911 Turbo S isn't just fast. It's violently, unapologetically explosive in its power delivery. At its beating heart lies Porsche's legendary 3.8-liter twin-turbo flat-six engine, now delivering a volcanic 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. Nail the throttle, and Porsche's brilliant 8-speed PDK gearbox snaps off gear changes faster than human reflexes can process, firing the Turbo S towards 60 miles per hour in a mind-bending 2.6 seconds. Don't ease off pressure yet. The digital speedometer races past 150, then 180, before hitting a wind tunnel-tested 205 miles per hour maximum, pinning occupants firmly into their seats like fighter pilots during takeoff sequences. But raw straight-line fury represents only half its mechanical magic. Porsche's groundbreaking active aerodynamics system changes shape during flight, deploying a front lip spoiler, adjusting cooling flaps, and raising a rear wing in milliseconds to plant the car with race car stability. Rear-wheel steering slices through corner combinations with surgical accuracy, while Porsche's adaptive dampers scan pavement conditions hundreds of times per second. Enormous carbon ceramic brake rotors scrub speed instantly, lap after heart-pounding lap without any performance degradation. Inside, Porsche's motorsport DNA permeates everything. Carbon fiber racing bucket seats, Alcantara touchpoints, and a digital gauge cluster that flashes race telemetry data at your fingertips. Starting at $232,500, the 911 Turbo S transcends quick acceleration. It's a relentless adrenaline delivery machine that redefines what seems physically possible from a street-legal coupe. The active aerodynamics alone represent more technology than most supercars possess. But there's one American machine that makes this German masterpiece look almost pedestrian. Number 1, 2025 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, 233 miles per hour. The 2025 Corvette ZR1 isn't just the king of performance coupes, it's the machine that completely rewrites the rulebook, sets it on fire, and outruns the smoke. After years of speculation, whispered rumors, and spy photography, Chevrolet has finally unveiled their most powerful production vehicle ever created. A machine so mechanically extreme, it forces complete reconsideration of what a Corvette can actually accomplish. At its beating heart sits the all-new LT7 power plant, a 5.5-liter twin-turbo flat-plane crank V8 monster born directly from C8R race car technology and now armed with an absolutely staggering 1,064 horsepower and 825 pound-feet of torque. This engine doesn't roar. It shrieks like an angry endurance prototype that escaped from professional racing and invaded public roads. 0 to 60 miles per hour requires just 2.3 seconds. But that acceleration figure isn't the real headline grabber. The genuine jaw-dropper is its verified 233 miles per hour top speed. Not theoretical, not estimated, but wind tunnel confirmed. This officially becomes the fastest Corvette in the model's entire 7-decade history. Period. Full stop. But pure velocity alone doesn't crown automotive royalty. The ZR1 arrives equipped with active aerodynamics developed using the same wind tunnels employed for Le Mans prototype racing, generating massive downforce during cornering while slicing drag coefficients at full throttle. Its chassis utilizes aerospace-grade carbon components throughout the structure. The cooling systems mirror Formula One technology, a rear-mounted transaxle delivers perfect weight distribution, and Michelin engineers specifically developed tires exclusively for this particular vehicle. Every single component serves one primary purpose: complete domination of any performance metric that matters. Inside, the focus remains sharp but not ferocious. No unnecessary gimmicks exist, just carbon-backed seats, a squared steering wheel borrowed directly from the Z06 GT3 race car, and a performance data recorder that logs every lap, drift, and downshift like a flight recorder designed for adrenaline addicts. This isn't a luxury coupe attempting to masquerade as a supercar. It's a street-legal war machine that genuinely is a supercar, engineered by a company that dared to challenge Europe's elite manufacturers on their own turf and dramatically over-delivered on every promise. Starting near $200,000, the 2025 ZR1 isn't simply the fastest car on this list. It represents the new standard by which every other performance coupe will now be measured. The fact that an American manufacturer just built the world's fastest production car for less than half the price of European exotics should terrify every supercar company on the planet. The automotive world just witnessed history being written in tire smoke and screaming exhaust notes. The question isn't whether the ZR1 will become a future collectible. It's whether anything will ever be fast enough to challenge its supremacy. Subscribe if you want to find out what manufacturers do when Chevrolet just moved the goalposts into orbit. Drop your prediction below. Which coupe from this list will appreciate the fastest, and which one will tank harder than a crypto crash? The answers might shock you, especially when you realize one manufacturer is secretly planning something that makes every car on this list look slow. If you want to know which supercars are about to get absolutely demolished by American engineering, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because next week's video will expose the European panic that's happening behind closed doors right now. The Speed Wars just got nuclear, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.